Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, July 23 are absolutely packed with drama, heartbreak, and some seriously questionable decisions. And we need to talk about it because things are spiraling out of control. So DiMera is basically running around Salem like a monster, right? He is trying to cover up the DiMera Pharmaceuticals mess, the arsenic-laced Corseal pills that were buried on Smith Island, the tainted water that poisoned Julie's well, and of course, framing poor Holly Jonas by planting pills in her bag just to create a smokescreen, which is just wild, totally wild. But EJ has another massive problem on his hands, and her name is Kristen DiMera. So we all know Kristen crossed a massive line. She used a deeply unstable Sophia Choi to try and kill Johnny DiMera in an apartment fire, which is just sick, even for Kristen. And now EJ knows the truth. EJ knows his sister tried to burn his son alive. So EJ's out for blood. He wants to kidnap Kristen and make her disappear forever. EJ is not playing games anymore. He's wearing Stefano's ring and acting exactly like his father. But Kristen is a survivor. She always has a backup plan, and this time her backup plan involves Lexie Carver, which brings us to the most heartbreaking part of the week. Lexie is dying. Again, Dr. Rolf's experimental Versavix resurrection drug is failing. We saw the lab rat die. We saw Lexie getting the headaches. The cure is only temporary. And Lexie is furious at EJ for playing God with her life. But Lexie also knows her time is up. So she makes a crazy deal with Kristen. A twisted DiMera version of the Parent Trap. Lexie and Kristen agree to switch places. Lexie is going to let EJ's goons kidnap her instead of Kristen, and Kristen is going to disappear into the wind because Lexie knows she's going to die. She is sacrificing her last day so Kristen can escape EJ's wrath. But before Lexie gets kidnapped, she needs to say goodbye. So Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, July 23. See Lexie and Abe's wedding double as a painful farewell. Lexie is remarrying Abe Carver, and Theo is going to be there. It is supposed to be this beautiful, romantic moment, but it is actually a tragic goodbye. And Abe has absolutely no idea. Abe thinks he is getting his wife back for good. He was so torn between Paulina and Lexie, and Paulina finally stepped aside. Abe thinks this is his happily ever after. But Lexie knows the truth. She is saying I do to the love of her life, knowing that in just a few hours she will be gone. Either kidnapped by EJ or dead from the failing serum. It is just gut-wrenching. We sit here watching this and just shake our heads, and Abe has been through enough. He lost her to a brain tumor in 2012. He cannot lose her again like this. And while Lexie is preparing for her tragic wedding, Kristen is preparing to run. But she cannot leave Salem without seeing her daughter. Rachel Black is finally getting out of Bayview, which is a whole other mess. Brady is terrified of what EJ might do to Rachel as payback. But Kristen is the one who actually gets to Rachel first. Kristen knows she has to go on the run to hide from EJ. So she sits down with Rachel, and instead of being a good mother and telling her daughter to be a good person, Kristen does the exact opposite. Kristen prepares Rachel for a future she hopes her daughter never has to understand. She fills Rachel's head with absolute poison. Kristen tells Rachel to be awful, to be ruthless, to make her mommy proud, because Kristen thinks that being a monster is the only way to survive in the DiMera family. So she is basically brainwashing this little girl right after she gets out of a mental institution. It is toxic parenting at its absolute worst. But that is Kristen for you. She is leaving a trail of destruction on her way out of town. Meanwhile, across town, we have a completely different kind of mess. Stephanie Johnson is spiraling. And honestly, she has been spiraling for months. Ever since Owen Kent kidnapped her, she has been dealing with severe untreated PTSD. She literally fired a loaded gun at Joy Wesley in Alex's apartment. And then when Joy and baby Kelsey got into a car accident with a blown tire, Joy left a frantic emergency voicemail on Alex's phone, and Stephanie deleted it. She actually deleted a voicemail about a baby in a car crash because she is so paranoid and jealous of Joy. So now Stephanie is complaining to Belle Black. Stephanie is convinced that Joy only exists to ruin her life. She is complaining that her husband Alex is just so great and so handsome that all women want him, especially Joy. And instead of telling Stephanie she is acting crazy, Belle actually confirms her paranoid suspicions. Belle is a lawyer. She should be telling Stephanie to get therapy and a good defense attorney. But no. Belle just nods along, which is frustrating to watch, because Stephanie is actively destroying her own marriage and refusing to take accountability for hiding that voicemail. At the exact same time, Alex is hanging out with Chad DiMera, and Alex is doing the exact same thing. Alex is lamenting to Chad about how hard his life is. Alex is whining that he is just so great that all women want him. He thinks it is a curse that Stephanie and Joy are fighting over him. And Chad, who is dealing with his own massive problems, just agrees. Chad tells Alex that it is quite the burden to bear, which is hilarious, because Chad is currently trying to figure out if Kat Green is playing him and EJ. Kat is secretly an ISA agent working for Rafe, but she is getting way too close to EJ. So Chad is dealing with real corporate espionage and family warfare, and he just has to sit there and listen to Alex complain about being too attractive. It is a very clunky, funny moment in an otherwise dark episode. And finally, we have Sean Brady and Jada Hunter. These two have been dancing around each other for months. They were together, then they were apart, then they were in the friend zone. Then Sean got that leg injury and moved into Jada's apartment to recover. And the physical closeness finally broke down the walls. They officially left the friend zone during the sweeps, but they still haven't fully defined what this is. Until now, Sean finally decides what he wants from Jada. He has been doing a lot of thinking while recovering. He knows their history is messy. He knows he has baggage with Belle. But Sean gets honest with Jada. He lays all his cards on the table. He tells her exactly what he wants their future to look like. And it is a really raw, vulnerable moment for both of them. Because Jada has been burned before. She needs to know that Sean is fully committed and not just looking for a rebound or a nurse. So Sean stepping up and being a man about his feelings is exactly what she needs to hear. So yeah, Thursday is going to be a massive episode. We have a fake wedding, a tragic goodbye, a toxic mother-daughter bonding session, a crumbling marriage, and a new romance finally taking off. It is raw, it is messy, and it is everything we love about Salem. We will be watching closely to see how EJ reacts when he realizes he kidnapped Lexie instead of Kristen. That fallout is going to be nuclear. Keep your eyes peeled, folks.